Ahoy, hoy, Pancasters! I'm Pavo.
And I'm Neil.
And welcome to That's No Moon.
It's a podcast.
It's your weekly roundup of all the Star Wars news you need to know.
Fandabby dozy.
So, Neil is here. He has all of the news
for this week.
And dollops that's going on.
Scallops.
Indeed. What have we got first? Neil.
Well, first this week, I'm just going to say it was the Grammys recently.
Oh!
So the Grammys have just passed, loads of people have won, and John Williams has won Best Soundtrack has won his 6th Grammy Award for the Star Wars Force Awakens soundtrack. And I think that's a remarkable achievement. I really do.
Well, he's 85.
I know.
He's had plenty of years to
there's
pack
a
those
lot,
in.
yeah, but he just shows that he's still the master of his game, doesn't it?
It does. It does. I mean, to be fair, I'm surprised he's only won 6.
Yeah, if you think of all the iconic music movie scores.
So maybe he's been slacking.
Well, maybe he has, but it's still an impressive
I don't know
thing.
how many Oscars he's won. Must have won a few Oscars.
I would have thought so. He's probably got Oscars growing out of his ears.
Really?
No.
Yeah, would you say it's worth winning a...
Yeah, I think the majority of his scores... Right.
Well, The Force Awakens specifically.
No, I think so. It's like you said, we spoke about it before when we spoke about the vinyl. It's a soundtrack that's a grower. So you'll first listen to it and you think, all right, that's all right. But it actually, there's more to the soundtrack than you actually first appreciate when you watch the movie or hear. It's a very, very good soundtrack.
And the thing that gets me is that as soon as you see a Star Wars film without a John Williams soundtrack, you realise quite how much a John Williams soundtrack is missed from Star Wars. Nothing against Michael Giacchino.
No,
he's done some fantastic music.
And Rogue One was great music in it, but
some
it
of
wasn't
it,
John Williams.
It didn't. For me, it didn't feel like a Star Wars film.
Did it not at all?
Especially that bit when it showed you. It says Rogue One at the start.
Right.
That to me sounded like a TV sci-fi movie.
Ooh,
or a TV sci-fi, like Battlestar Galactica kind of thing.
Have you listened to the soundtrack on its own?
Yes, I bought the soundtrack.
Right, the Rogue One one.
Yeah. And it's nice, don't get me wrong, there are bits in it that are nice.
Yeah.
It's just, to me, it didn't feel like a Star Wars film.
No. Okay.
You know, there's plenty of things that make Rogue One feel like a Star Wars film, is the sound effects and stuff like that. But
the actual soundtrack and the score.
Yeah, not. And I think the trouble was with that is that it was a perfect chance to use things like the Imperial theme, the Imperial March, and stuff like that, and they just didn't use it. There were like slight little tinges of it in certain places. But again, that's not to be disrespectful to Michael Giacchino, because I think he is the natural heir that when John Williams properly retires, or passes on, forbid the day, that I think he's the natural progressor for taking over.
Yeah.
But again, he only had 4 weeks to work on it as well.
No, that's just true. Yeah.
So.
Yeah, right. So, well, fair play. Good work, John Williams.
Yes, well done, John. You get our seal of approval.
Yeah, well, you can't knock him for what he does.
I can't knock him for anything.
No, I mean, he does the perfect score, and I'm so glad he's still working.
I'm so glad he is.
To be doing, like, The Last Jedi and things like that.
He could have his knockers. Close up.
Right. Okie dokie. Thandie Newton, the acclaimed Westworld actress, is apparently in negotiations for a role in the Han Solo movie. She would be joining the likes of Donald Glover.
Donald.
Yeah. Woody Harrelson.
Woody.
And Emilia Clarke.
Emilia.
This comes also as reports that the Fleabag star Phoebe Waller-Bridge may be playing a CGI character, with the rumour being that it would be a droid rather than an alien. Okay. So, looks like they're going down the droid route, with Alan... What's his name?
Tudyk.
And, Thandie Newton first.
Yes.
Do you like Thandie Newton?
I've never been a massive fan of her until I watched Westworld.
Right, you've watched the whole series.
I have watched the whole series, and she is amazing in it. And she doesn't mind sitting there with absolutely no clothes on. Say she's getting on. She must be...
She's got to be 40.
She's got to be 40. An amazing body.
Right.
An amazing body. For somebody that, by the looks of it, because I did check her photographs on Google, and I think she's got at least one child.
Okay.
And again, Star Wars isn't about amazing
I was
bodies
gonna
and
say,
stuff like that.
You're not going to see that in the.
But what I'm saying is, when you see somebody, you see Thandie Newton like led on a slab, completely naked, and everything looks fine and dandy.
Right. So you're a good
Tandy. But yeah, I think she'll be interesting. Look, in the end, any good actor or actress joining the cast can only be good for the film.
So what do you think about this Phoebe Walker-Bridge from Fleabag?
I don't know who that is.
Well, Fleabag's like the new popular sort of I think it's a Netflix title.
Right,
Might not be true in this country, but in America definitely it's on Netflix. She's like the up and coming thing. People are saying she's going to be the next big thing. She's very good at comedy and all that sort of thing. So, but my question is, rather than just that, but introducing, if it is the rumors are true that she's going to be a CGI droid, there has to be. They've done it in every movie. There's always a new alien or a new droid, isn't there? So yeah, I was quite hoping for a new alien. I mean, a comedy alien sidekick. That'd be quite good fun, wouldn't it?
Yeah, like Jar Jar.
Yeah, what's wrong?
No, let's not do that again.
If I was to spin the camera around, you'd see posters of Jar Jar everywhere.
There isn't posters of Jar Jar.
Jar Jar is underrated.
There is. I think Jar Jar's somewhere. I've got a little figurine of Jar Jar. I think he's hidden over there somewhere. He's just hidden out of the way. I mean, don't get me wrong. Let's not go through about the prequels. I don't mind the prequels, and maybe they might get it right. Hopefully, actually, we should have faith now because we've batted 2 for 2 so far with the new Star Wars universe. I can't see that Episode 8's gonna, The Last Jedi is gonna disappoint. So why would and also Lord and Miller are involved in it. Look, the whole point that I think these work is because, and again, no disrespect to George Lucas, because if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't be here. But it's because he's not involved in the story. Absolutely. They've got fresh people bringing fresh perspective. Yeah, people that love and know what they want to see in a Star Wars movie. Yeah. So that's the thing. And you can also tell I'm not a massive fan of 21 or 22 Jump Street, but the Lego movie is fantastic. Yeah. And if they do it in the same vein as something like that, I mean, it's going to be a sci-fi movie, but I think it's going to be a bit more like... I can see this as being like the Guardians of the Galaxy kind of tone. I hope Star Wars movie. That's what you hope, isn't it? You cannot see the Han Solo standalone movie as being something as serious, dour sort of, I don't know. It's got to be an action romp. Yeah, it's got to be an action romp. But I, in faith we have of them. That's what I will say. So last week, pal. Billy D. Williams met Donald Glover for lunch. The two Lando Calrissian actors met in Los Feliz. Do you know where that is? That's not far away from where we were staying when we went to America. And talked Star Wars. Williams said after the lunch what they spoke about. Sorry. So to word what he actually said, he's a very delightful young man, I must say. We had a very nice lunch and we talked for a very long time, and it was very easy. He had questions about Lando. I guess he was doing what normal actors do. They just want to find out about what direction they want to take, so they gather their information. So we just sat and talked, and I didn't want to impose on anything he wanted to do. He's got his own ideas, I would imagine. I know he has his own ideas. He's a very talented young man. In fact, I was listening to some of his music. Childish Gambino, they're called. Have you heard of them? No. Glover's musical alter ego. And it's pretty good stuff. And then he went on to talk a little bit. He never ever said what they spoke about of being Lando. So if you want to know more about this interview or read more, because they talk about a lot of other stuff, it's all on the Hollywood Reporter website. And anyway, where he talks about Lando's coolness for a bit. Which, so... What do you think about the two stars meeting? Would you have liked to have been a fly on the wall? Well, definitely. One? I mean, this sort of mirrors what happened a couple of months ago with Alden Ehrenreich and Harrison Ford meeting up. Yeah. I think it's part of the course, isn't it? It's a clever thing to do. They can touch base. Because when Donald Glover was originally cast, Billy D. Williams said in an interview or said when he was on a red carpet or something, I don't know who he is. And there's only one person that can play Lando Calrissian. So it's nice that they've got together and passing of the baton and
He couldn't really have played Lando Calrissian in the
well,
remake.
no, but I think it was the fact that he was being a bit sort of dismissive of Donald Glover. Excuse me. Oh, live on air. But I think it's nice. It's nice to see them do that, because it would have been. Well, they wouldn't have had to do, but if, like, it would be nice if Carrie Fisher, if someone had taken over Princess Leia's role, that Carrie Fisher would have met someone, or anybody, whether there's Luke or anyone like that. I mean, I say about Carrie Fisher, I saw a picture of, is it Billy Bobby Brown? Is that her name?
Something like
the
that.
girl from Stranger Things, 11 from Stranger Things. There was a posed picture of her, and if you put buns on her hair, she'd have looked just like a young Princess Leia.
Oh, okay.
It was frightening. It's the same as the picture of Sebastian Stan, who's the Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
Have you seen that picture of him in front of a photograph of a young Mark Hamill?
No.
They look almost identical.
Oh, really?
I don't know whether there's been camera trickery in it, but it's really, really strange how not identical, but how similar they look.
Well, that's good to know, though, isn't it?
You know, it opens up something if they want to
New
do
avenues, a young Luke Skywalker story where you learn all about his farming and his moisture farming.
Well, I mean, there's a reason that maybe they could, if they did a Obi-Wan Kenobi trilogy or whatever, where he's on Tatooine. There's no reason that
because he was keeping an eye on him. That's the whole reason he was there, wasn't it?
Exactly.
Ooh,
but yeah, I think it's a great idea.
It gets them into finding out about the role as well, isn't it? What they brought to the role, get to know the character, and then get to know the actor, and then get to know the character. It just makes perfect sense. Really.
Perfect.
And right, my last piece of news for this week is actor Jimmy V.
Jimmy V
has been confirmed as the new R2-D2 in the Last Jedi. Jimmy, who has worked alongside the late Kenny Baker, has previously starred in Doctor Who and the Harry Potter movies, said, "It was an absolute pleasure to have worked alongside the legendary Kenny Baker. Kenny Baker was a fantastic actor and taught me all the tricks on how he brought R2 to life, which I will continue in his honour. I'm so excited to be a part of the Star Wars universe and can't wait for everyone to see what we've been working so hard on for the last year." You
had to stop then, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. No, it's just nice news, isn't it? That somebody that's worked with Kenny has taken over the mantle.
Yeah.
So,
great news.
Well, it is. I mean,
I need to have a look and see what sort of stuff he's done, because he was in Force Awakens as well, apparently. Wasn't he?
So. I mean, it is. I mean, there's not a lot to say about it, but I just wanted to bring that story up because obviously Kenny Bacon is
Kenny Bacon. How respectful is that? Oh my God! You talk about hard-ons and then Kenny Bacon.
Oh,
I know the dog's going.
Oh dear, it's all falling to bits. Kenny Baker is obviously an iconic Star Wars actor, isn't he? He was always known as being R2-D2, and it's nice to know that somebody who's taken over the mantle is somebody almost endorsed by the late Kenny Baker, and I just think it's really sweet. And plus, it's such a pivotal role in the Star Wars universe. He's as iconic as C-3PO, really, if not, some people would say more so.
He is. I mean, I've always been a little bit sort of wondering just how much did Kenny Baker do in, and this is not being disrespectful, but in regards to the fact that just what he did.
Well, he was obviously in the original New Hope, wasn't he? And he was probably in that little tin can a lot.
Yeah.
He was the one controlling it, driving it around. Okay, I've got your problem now. My eyes twitching. I'm going to sneeze. So, and then probably when the success came, he was off doing whatever promotional work I am R2-D2. And then he probably came back for like Empire Strikes Back, and he did probably bits, or a little bit more than bits, maybe half of it. But other people probably stood in, or they had a remote control one, and then it probably got less and less and less. But they wanted to keep Kenny Baker in it because he was the original artist. It's a bit like David Prowse, wasn't it? Or Peter Mayhew as Chewbacca. He's still being Chewbacca, but full well that Peter Mayhew's not the one walking along and walking around because he can't do it.
No.
But it's just the fact that they were the originals, and it's almost like an honour to them. And
I agree.
and it's nice for the fans to
Yeah.
know that the original cast are still there. And that's why I think this new actor Jimmy V it's nice to know that he's worked with Kenny Baker, and it's almost like a seal of approval.
And again, passing the baton.
Yeah, it's lovely. So that's it.
There you go. So there's absolutely no more other Star Wars news apart from Harrison Ford almost crashing into a massive plane when he tried to land his plane. Did you see that?
No. He's not another plane crash.
Almost. He apparently was landing his little Cessna or whatever it was. And I think from what I can make out, he went over the top of like a big plane that was about to take off.
Oh my God! The man's determined to kill himself.
He's determined to do something, isn't he? I mean, everything was fine. I think he's going to be the FIA or whatever it is going to take a look at it and try and work out.
Take his license away from
work
him.
out what was going on.
No, I didn't see that.
But yeah, that was something that happened yesterday or the day before. So
all right, I didn't see that one. So
but there you go.
Bring something new to the table.
So there you go. If you have liked the stories, why not give us your comments in the comments box below and let us know what you think about this week's stories, or if you have your own Star Wars stories, why not add them to the comments below.
And while you're giving us a like for the videos, please do. It'd be wonderful. Come subscribe to the channel if you already haven't done so. Do visit Patreon and put Pancast in. We are on there, and we're asking you to come and join the family. There's all sorts of rewards for as little as $1 a month.
Indeed. And like Neil said, come and subscribe to our channel and hit the little bell icon. That way then you'll be notified every time a new video is uploaded, which we shall be doing straight after we finish recording this.
Fantastic.
And you can check out with this is also available on iTunes in podcast form. Just go to iTunes and put in Pancast, and you'll see all the different podcasts that we do, all the movie and music podcasts that we do, and that's about it.
Wonderful.
Thank you. So until next week for episode 22, this is Pavo and
it's great ending.
Saying bye.
Yeah, cheerio then.
And may the force be with you all. Ways.
Not days.